Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Bhupesh. So after a long time, I'm just recording this video. So today we'll be taking not a new topic, but a existing topic, but onto a local. So we'll be setting up Grafana based monitoring setup so that we can capture the metric and logs uh, onto the local system. When I say local system, it can be installed onto Ubuntu machine or a Linux machine. Okay. So earlier we have seen setup. You can see the rest of the videos in the same Grafana playlist, and you can like and subscribe the channel if you want to get more videos related to Grafana, Kubernetes, Prometheus, DevOps, and AWS, any other sort of tutorials. Okay, fine. Let's quickly jump onto this and today's agenda. We'll be doing installation of these items onto the Ubuntu box as a binary because earlier we have done the entire setup on Kubernetes cluster, but this time we'll be doing it onto Ubuntu box. So as we start, we'll be doing installation on Prometheus onto the server, and then we'll install Node Exporter. Now, what is the Node Exporter? Node Exporter will capture all the system-related metrics like CPU, memory, storage and all that from a client. So it is a client server architecture. I mean, you can have node export installed onto different machine. Today's demo will be doing everything onto a single machine and Grafana installation, Grafana binary, the version 10.2, the latest version. Okay. And then we'll be installing Loki server, which will capture your logs and store it onto the server. And then a promtail agent, which will actually is responsible for sending the log from client to the server. So uh, we'll be doing all the setups. Let's jump onto the practical aspects of it so that we can understand in a better way. So jumping onto the documentation for this. So definitely we have a Grafana on-prem. You can say Grafana on-prem repository, and we have a README page where we are showing what all we are doing, the step-by-step method. Okay. So this is that README page I'm talking about. So first of all, we will install Prometheus and then we'll install Node Exporter on client machine. It can be a same machine or it can be different machine. And then Prometheus, Grafana, Loki, and then Prometheus on the client machine. So these are the two on client machine which will be sending matrices and the logs from here to the server. Fine. So first of all, let's install Prometheus. So let me go to this Prometheus.yaml file. Now to installing this Prometheus, we download this binary. We need to binary will download this primary. So you can come onto your Ubuntu box and create any one particular folder. So suppose I have created this Grafana Ubuntu folder, and then you can do all this processing here. So first of all, I'm downloading the tar file of Prometheus version 2.3.7.6. You can download any other version if you want. But yeah, this is what how you download. This is the version I'm downloading it. So once this is download, I'll do untar of this file. So run this command. So untar will happen on the same location. You can see this folder would be created. You know, this folder would be created. Perfect. Then I'll remove the tar file to save space. So I'll remove the tar file and then I'll create these folders, basically Prometheus and under etc and var lib. So it is already there, so it will just give me a ask for password. Yeah, since the file already exists, so it will just give you a file exist. And if it is not existing in our system, it will just create these two folders and these two different directories, etc and var lib. Perfect. Now I'll just go to this location, the binary of this Prometheus, and then I'll move my Prometheus and prom tool binary to the user local bin so that I can simply, and I will copy this Prometheus YAML. This YAML is responsible for sending the configuration, the script configuration. So I'll move it to this etc Prometheus.yaml. And then finally, I'll move certain other console libraries just for instrumentation purpose since it is already there. So it will just give you a message. Fine. I'll check the Prometheus version. Fine. Prometheus version is 2.3.76, 37.6. Now I'll configure Prometheus as a service so that it can be, I'll create an user called as Prometheus. Okay, user already exists. I'll just uh, change the ownership of these two folders from other to Prometheus. Okay, user. And then I'll create a Prometheus service. file which will run as a service, and it will run trigger your Prometheus with this location, and this is the configuration that it needs to be triggered. Fine, this file is already created. If not created, then you can simply copy paste this content till here, and then simply save it. Now you need to simple do a daemon reload so that your you should be able to enable the Prometheus service. Now I've enabled the Prometheus services. I'll just do a start of Prometheus. I'll check the status of Prometheus service. Okay, it says running. Now I can see whether the Prometheus is running or not by going onto this, port number 9090. So I'll just open a new incognito window, and then yeah, you can see Prometheus is up and running. Perfect. So my first step is done. I successfully install Prometheus on my machine. When I say on my machine, it's a Ubuntu box, and it can be any other box. Certain commands will differ for any other version, like Linux or you know AIX, or for that matter, an Apple machine. But yeah, more or less it would be same. Now let's do the second step, which is nothing but the installing Node Exporter on the client machine. So I'll go on to Node Exporter. I'll simply download this, triple tar file, this Node Exporter, and we'll do untar. I'll come to the same location where I was having my Grafana folder. This is my Grafana folder. Perfect. So now I'll do a download of this Node Exporter tar file. You can see version is 1.5.0. I'll do untar of this file. Untar is done. I'll just move this to a local bin, user local bin. Node Exporter binary has been moved. So you can simply see I'm now removing the folder. Now this is the binary. I'll just simply run this. Yeah. The Node Exporter is already running. It'll give you a message. And then ultimately I need to create a service for Node Exporter the way we have created a Prometheus service. So let's create a user first of all, and then create a service file, and then copy paste the content. Since I already have a file, I will just take notice, but it will just do a start like this: user local bin, and then Node Exporter. And these are certain parameters that needs to be executed when you're launching the Node Exporter. Now the Node Exporter will fetch all your system related matrices, and it will report. Let me do a systemctl enable Node Exporter. I'll do a daemon reload again to pick all the services. Then I'll start the Node Exporter, and then I'll do a status of Node Exporter. It is running. Now, since Node is running, let me see whether the matrices are coming or not onto this 9100 port. So 9100 port is the Node Export port. So, so Node Export is perfectly running on 9100 port, and I can see the CPU memory or node related things are coming. See, node CPU. So node CPU, node memory will come like this. Node memory, node CPU. So all the matrices pertaining to my laptop or my box is coming properly onto the onto this endpoint. Now, independently, what we have done. Let's understand this. We have installed Prometheus, we have installed Node Explorer, but still the matrices are not going from this point to this point. That configuration we need to make it. So that is called a scrape configuration. So this is an independent entity, and this is an independent. Now we need to do a marriage between these 1 and 2 points. Now we'll configure the Prometheus so that it can monitor client machine, which is nothing but a Node Exporter point. We'll come out to this configure client. Now, if you remember this Prometheus YAML file that initially we copied, I'll just do a you know quick of this edit, and then you can see I need to add this piece of code, okay, into my, it's not into script interval, that's fine. This piece of code into my the Prometheus.yml. So what it will do, it will just scrape the matrices from this port also. Okay. So let me just do a insert at the end. Do copy and then do a paste. Yes. So alignment of the YAML file should be same. So it's called as a remote collector and pulling matrices from 9100 port. I'll just do a save. this is the script configuration that it is now scraping. It will scrape this port also, and it will the job name will call as remote collector. I'll restart my Prometheus. I'll just check my Prometheus whether Prometheus is running or not. STTUS. It is Prometheus is up and running. Fine. Now this is done. I'll just do a simple restart, and then I can say, yeah, I can see I have two jobs which are perfectly running. One is Prometheus, other is remote collector, which is nothing but pulling the matrices from this endpoint and this point on onto the Prometheus. Now we have done successfully done the marriage, and now we can see the matrices are coming from Prometheus job as well as the remote collector. So 3 points are done, basically. Now let's install Grafana so that we can visualize all these things with the help of beautiful dashboard. So I'll come out of this Grafana.yaml, and then I'll install Grafana 10.2 onto this Ubuntu box. So I'll come onto this folder again. Okay, I'll download the binary of this key, Grafana JPG key, and then I'll do a apt get update. Fine, and finally I will install the Grafana. So the moment I'll write this, it will bring up the latest version of Grafana and 10.2. So this is the latest version. I mean, it was released few days back from today's date. So yeah, you are on the latest version. Good to know that. Now I'll do a system reload, daemon reload, and here we don't need to create service. Service will automatically get enabled with this package. Service enabled, and I'll just do a start of Grafana server. So if my Grafana got started, I'll just check if this Grafana server is running or not. Status, yes, it says active running. Perfect. So the Grafana is running. I'll just see whether it is running because Grafana runs on 3000 port. Perfect. My Grafana is running. And let me see whether I'm able to log in with the default password or not. Admin password. So I've seen this. If you're not able to log into default password, you can reset the password again because this is an SQLite database that will get installed by default. So you can change the password, by installing the SQLite and then connect to the Grafana DB. And this is a very common mistake into the open source. And you need to just reset this password like this. Okay, and then you do a quit. Okay, you come out of it and then you do a restart of this Grafana server again. I would say first of all do a status of this status. Let me do a stop. Grafana has been stopped again. Status is not running. Perfect. So it's running now. Let me see the status. Yes, it is running. So I'll just come again, do a refresh. So admin min. Yeah. So now it is asking to reset your password. I can simply give any password. For now, I'm giving, okay, let me get a simple password into the PC and read 123. Okay, perfect. So I'm into the home page of Grafana. I can see the Prometheus is already added. But suppose if you want to add the Prometheus from the uh, you know database, you need to simply come here, add a new data source, and simply select the Prometheus and then give the URL of something like this. Okay, let me give the brand name Prometheus new, and then we'll simply do a save and test. So yeah, Prometheus successfully added. In similar fashion, we'll add other database, but let me go to the Explore. Now, what we have done actually, we have installed Grafana, but added Prometheus as a data source, which we installed some time back. Now, let's see whether the metrics are coming or not. So, I'll come this. Okay, I've added Prometheus as data source in Grafana. I'll see how many metrics are coming from those jobs. Okay, So I'll just run this query. I can see there are two jobs that are successfully coming. One is remote collector is nothing but node exporter, and the one is the Prometheus. Now I'll just see how many distinct metrics are coming from this remote collector. So I'll just check this. Now these are certain hacks. I just filter this and then I run this again. I'll just remove this graph. I don't want to see the graph. I can see simply this. I'll see how many distinct matrix series are coming from this job. See, I can see 1253 jobs are coming. Click on both. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So, 1 second. I can see different type of matrices that are coming from the node exporter. So the same matrices which are visible here, I can see the same matrices here now on Grafana. So Grafana is a visualization tool. Now let me just do one more thing. If you're talking about node exporter, let me create a node exporter dashboard, full dashboard from Grafana. Copy this 1860. Just import this dashboard. I'll just go to dashboard, new dashboard. No, I want to do a visualization. New dashboard and want to import a dashboard basically. 1860. Yeah, the node exporter dashboard. I'll just select my Prometheus and then do import. Perfect. See, node exporter dashboard is coming nicely, and I can see the data is also reflected properly. So, yeah, interesting. So we have everything properly coming here, and you can see the metrics have started loading. So this is a very good dashboard of node exporter. I mean, I've explained this about this dashboard in a separate video. You can simply check it into the same playlist. But let's get back to the agenda. Okay, so agenda was to first of all install Prometheus and then node exporter, then do a marriage between Prometheus and node exporter so that matrix should go from node exporter to Prometheus. And now we installed Grafana so that the metrics are coming nicely in Grafana and I can see with the help of dashboards. So this is all about capturing matrices and the health of the system using CPU memory and all that. The next step is again very important thing. I need to install Loki. Loki is the Loki server is used for capturing the logs from your system, your whatever system you have, whether it's Linux, Windows, or anything. So I'll come onto this Loki.yaml as the next step and then install Loki to my machine, Ubuntu machine. Just do a simply curl and I'll go to my location again. It download the latest Loki zip file and then I'll do unzip. I can see Loki there, yeah, the one. Now I'll do unzip of this Loki zip file. On. Okay. The Loki has been unzipped. I'll just move this Loki from here to the user bin Loki. See the version. So this is the version 2.9.2. Just create a directory of data Loki if it is not there. And simply copy this file or create this file and then add the Loki configuration. This is the configuration for my Loki server. This is the address as in memory and everything will be stored in memory. And this is the directory where it will store all the file system. And yeah, that's pretty much. So I'll just come out of it, save it. In your case, it will be WQ. And I'll create a Loki service file with this copy paste this entire chunk. Will create a Loki service on your machine. Okay, so this is the machine. Loki service has been created. I'll do a daemon reload. Okay, I'll just do a restart of this my Loki service. I'll just check whether the Loki is running or not. Data, yes, Loki is running perfectly. And then I'll just whether the see whether Loki metrics are coming onto this endpoint. Okay, Loki matrices are coming. So it runs behind the Cortex tool. Perfect. So Loki server is done, but how to send logs from this uh, client, basically my laptop, to this Loki server? So this is called as promtail agent, which is responsible for sending this thing. So you can read more theory from Google. I'm not going to explain that theory here, but let's install the promtail agent also on your machine so that I can see the log directly. So I'm downloading the promtail agent uh, zip file basically, and I'll do a zip of promtail agent, and then I'll copy this promtail to my promtail bin binary, and I'll check the version which is needed. 2.9.2 is the promtail version, which is in agreement to the your Loki file. I'm creating a service now in the service. Just understand. So what I'm saying, please consider this as my Loki server where I'm pushing all the logs, and please have the local host and capture all the logs which are coming from this location. So what I'm saying, so from this laptop or Ubuntu box, please capture all the logs which are present at this location, send it to the this Loki server. In your case, it can be different IP, but here it is a local host because my Loki server is here. Important point to understand. So you need to install Prometheus on an agent from where you need to send the logs, right? And then give a proper IP address here for a Loki server which you installed in a previous step. Perfect. So I'll just come out of it and I'll see cd var log. One more thing, I'll do SLTR so you can see all the logs will be shipped. Okay, you can see star.log basically. So what I'm saying, star.log, that's what we were saying, that all these logs should be shipped to my Loki server. If you see the configuration, yeah, the bin file basically. Where is that bin file? Mm, 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 mm. Okay, we just checked it few minutes ago. Anyway, so this is done. I need to create a promtail service which will be responsible for running it as a service rather than server. Just do this. A promtail service is also created. I'll do a daemon reload. I'll just do a start of promtail service. Okay, I'll check the status of the service. Promtail is up and running. Now I'll add Loki as a data source in my Grafana. So we'll come onto my Grafana again. I'll just go to administration, go to data source. I'll add one more data source called as Loki1 because Loki is already there. Just to showcase into demo, I'll do Loki new, fine, and then it will be a localhost 3100, I guess. 3100, yes, for Loki, and then I'll do a save test. So Loki successfully validated. I'll just come on to explore section, select Loki new. Now I'll just do port and then how to do a Loki lockable query and just do a job equals to where logs and then to run. I can see all the logs coming from this job. Now I'll do one more thing. This is the filtration, normal filtration that we do. File name equal to, I can see all the files that were there in this location, right? I just ran that piece. Yeah, I went to this cell, yeah, start out now. So you can see all the logs are coming properly. So yeah, this is last 6 hours logs. So I can select any one of them, like this log, and then simply run this query, right? So that is a pretty much about getting the logs also from your system to the from Grafana, and then you can run logql queries on top of it. So in a nutshell, what we did, just to quickly recap everything. First of all, we installed Prometheus onto the monitoring box, and then we install node exporter to capture the matrices from the client machine. Client machine can be a same machine or can be a different machine. And then we did a marriage between these two by doing configuration configure client, and then we installed Grafana separately onto the again same server, and then added Prometheus as a data source on Grafana to see all the matrices, and then we created a node exporter dashboard also from Grafana URL. And then we uh, installed Loki server to capture the log, and then finally Prometheus agent, which was bringing the log from client to this Loki server. And then ultimately Loki was added as a data source in the Grafana. And I can see, the logs are coming. Let's quickly see one more thing before we wrap up. Loki dashboard from Grafana. So let's see, there are lot of dashboards. So let's try to import some of the dashboard if we can. 13816 is one of the the dashboard that is already there. So the beauty of Grafana is you don't need to do anything from fresh. You have everything available from the Grafana website. You select the Loki source, you select the Prometheus source, simply import. Unfortunately, this is not giving any data, but let's pick some other dashboard which has a generic Loki dashboard quick search. So this is all about, see, this is not a dashboard related session, but yeah, you can simply fix these errors and then have, let me import one more dashboard just for the sake of demo purpose, and then we'll wrap it up. So this is the one. Okay, same UID. I'll just do a login new from with this new override. Fine. Anyway, so this is how you can import any dashboards, and then you have configured Loki Prometheus into your Grafana, and you're able to see all the important matrices. So let's wrap up this session. Let's not stretch it further. So in a nutshell, we saw all these important items, how to do it step by step. Last but not the least, do not forget to like and subscribe the channel, and do see all the important other videos in the same playlist about Grafana that will help you to understand it in a better way. Thanks, Anaya. See you. Goodbye.